purchased two of the most desirable modern burst recreations by the Gibson Custom Shop. Not just R9s, not just Murphy Labs, but Beauty of the Burst replicas. Page 58 and page 78, two completely different interpretations of the famous Gibson Burst. So strap yourselves in and let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars episode. Hello guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley and today we have a treat for you guitarists. Today we have two stunning recreations of a Gibson Les Paul Burst. But let's not dawdle any further, let's get straight into this video. So now we're going to talk about the backstory of these guitars and explain what the Beauty of the Burst book really is. I know plenty of the viewers watching this video will know what Beauty of the Burst is, but for those that don't, here's a little backstory about it. Put simply, it's one of the most famous guitar collector's books out there. It features Gibson Les Paul standards from 1958 to 1960 with incredible detail and some awesome pictures. It had incredible close-up pictures so you could see the checking, the condition, the flame of the maple. It really felt immersive when you look at this book. And the book isn't just a collector's reference or an information book, but it also kind of blended a little bit of an artistic kind of edge to it with all the photography. Obviously the lure and the mystique around the Burst is so intriguing to us guitar players. Obviously they're so expensive and a lot of us will never get to play a Burst in our lifetime. So basically the series that we have today is inspired by that Beauty of the Burst book. In particular we have page 58 and page 78. I really like how Gibson have done this. They've done this for quite a few years actually. Some of the collector's choice guitars were Beauty of the Burst, and they've also done a few different runs. Of course, there's so many Beauty of the Bursts out there, but we think these two are some of the most famous and popular on the market. So the time has come to check out the Les Paul, so let's open up the cases and see what we've got. So here we have it, here's the two Beauty of the Burst that we're checking out today. This is page 58 and page 78. Of course, they both look stunning, but let's start off with this Tobacco Burst one. So looking very similar to the Slash Joe Perry owned November Rain guitar, this is page 58, which is known for its dark burst, which was unique for the time. And what a lot of collectors like about this one is that it wasn't a perfect collector's example. It's got a nice hairy flame top. It's nothing too crazy, but it definitely dances in the light. It's got a lovely dark back to it with some lovely aging. It really has like a smoky appearance to it, which is very unique in the Beauty of the Burst book. This is one of the most famous ones. I've seen that this has actually been sold out on quite a few websites, mainly because it looks just like the Joe Perry Slash guitar, which obviously is a very popular Tobacco Burst Les Paul. For me, as soon as I see this guitar, I think of Slash in the November Rain video, and I'll probably reference this guitar as the Joe Perry Slash guitar. I know it's not exactly that. I know it's not the exact same one, but obviously it looks just like it. In terms of the spec of both of these guitars, it's basically going to be the same thing. The only thing that differs is the aging and the color pretty much. So starting off, we've got a one-piece mahogany back. This has some really nice figuring in it, very similar to the original. We have a stunning two-piece flame maple top with the Tobacco Burst. This is what makes this page 58 so popular, is that it has like that kind of hair flame. It's very uneven, looking very different to other collectors' examples. Of course, we've got two custom bucker pickups in this guitar. These are Alnico free magnets and unpotted, so we're getting that lovely Les Paul tone. Three-way switch, two volumes, two tones with the thumb bleeders, ABR1 bridge and aluminium stop tailpiece. And then of course, we've got mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard, and we've got kind of cream binding on this one, which is kind of aged to an almost yellow. We have black side dots on this one with celluloid inlays, and then we've got the crown jewels, the Gibson headstock with that Les Paul silkscreen, which is barely there. Of course, we've got Cluson style Gibson Deluxe tuners, and that's all the specs of this page 58 Les Paul. Now let's check out page 78. So now we've got page 78, and this one is the complete opposite of the dark burst I just showed you. This is like the flashier sibling, the one that's trying to show off that little bit more. What a beautiful guitar. I actually saw this one on Reverb before we bought it. I'm not sure if it's the exact same guitar, but I've been seeing this all over the internet, and I sent it to a couple of my guitar friends, and I was like, we need to get a guitar like this. And the majority of Les Pauls in the 50s were finished in this color, and then some of them would obviously age to your lemon burst, and then obviously there was a few that were finished in dark burst, but this was the most common color that the Les Paul was finished in. This one has a very red kind of clown burst to it, but it looks absolutely sensational. And then we have that more common cherry on the back. Obviously, what makes this guitar so nice is the tight flame, which is very PRS-like. We've got a nice kind of light aging all over this, and of course, we've got a set of double whites in this guitar. This really makes this guitar stand out from the crowd, and I absolutely love it. We have a similar spec to the other burst, of course. We've got one-piece mahogany body, two-piece flame maple top. This one's definitely a little bit more flamey with a tighter flame. We then have the same pickups, so the custom bucket Alnico 3s, ABR1 bridge, aluminium stop tailpiece. We have the same knobs on this one, but they've been aged slightly differently, so they're a bit brighter. We have a mahogany neck and a rosewood fingerboard. This one definitely has more lacquer on the back of the neck, so it's a little bit more sticky than Page 58. We then have that cream binding and the 22 frets with the celluloid inlays. And then you can see on the headstock here that the Les Paul logo is more intact. This one definitely isn't as aged as much. We still have all the lacquer on the back of the guitar. It's just lighter aged and a bit more of an example of a guitar that's been looked after that little bit better. This one in particular feels very similar to a 1958 real burst I played a couple of weeks ago. It has that realistic relic feel. It feels like something that's actually been played. And I've just seen this now, is it actually has a really interesting area of wood grain there. As you can see, it goes quite sparse. I really like that. I think that's a bit of character there. So I am dying to plug these in. I can't wait to shred on these today. So let's head into the studio and see what they're all about. So guitarists, the time has come to hear both of these beauty of the burst Les Pauls in action. For today's episode, I'm using the Mesa Boogie Mark V amplifier, and to start off with, I'm just going to show you the clean tones, and then we'll finish with a loop in this section. Let's start off with the lovely tobacco burst, which is the Page 58 beauty of the burst. Let's go neck, middle, and bridge with the same chord. Neck position. Middle. Bridge position. So far, these custom buckets sound incredible. The neck pickup has a nice clarity to it. It's not too woolly, and the bridge pickup has that lovely mid-range, slightly overdriven tone. Such a beautiful bridge pickup. Now let's hear that neck pickup for an arrangement. Such a beautiful neck pickup tone. That is, for me, the ideal Gibson sound. You've got the nice mid-range, a little bit overdriven going into the clean amp, and then into the neck pickup, you get that lovely woolliness, which really supports dynamic playing. If you pick a little bit harder, it overdrives the amp. If you pull back a little bit, it's so clean, almost jazzy. I love this guitar, and to be honest, this is the perfect color for me. If you've been watching these videos for a while, you'll know that I love a Tobacco Burst 59 Standard. If not, it might be my dream guitar of all time. Unfortunately, a little bit too expensive for me at the moment, but it's a beautiful guitar all the same. And as promised, we're going to finish this section with a little loop. We've just invested in a new loop pedal, so I'm going to start bringing this section back into the videos. So leave a like if you enjoy that. Let me know what songs you'd like to see on the loop and next time in the comment section below. I'm going to do the same loop on both guitars and then just solo over them and cut back and forth. So let's start with the Tobacco Burst. to say I really got into that loop. I hope you enjoyed this new section to the videos. If you'd like to see more loops in future videos, make sure to leave a thumbs up and comment down below. But I have to say both of these guitars sound very different, but they both have really cool sounds. This one's definitely a bit brighter, a little bit more overdriven, and obviously the neck has more lacquer on it, so it just feels a bit more like a traditional Les Paul, whereas the Joe Perry / one feels way more worn in, and as a result has a bit more of a resonant tone to it. This one's still resonant, but it's just more of a shred machine. It just feels a little bit more mid-rangey, a little bit more gainy, and because the pickup covers are off, you're getting a little bit more brightness. But I had to say, these are two killer examples of what Gibson are producing now. Some of the best Les Pauls out there. With this one and the Greatest Hits Volume 2 that we had previously this week, Gibson really are stepping up their game. These are some of the best guitars I've had my hands on. But now that we've heard the tone demonstration, we have a little bit of a treat for you guys. We're going to be doing two performances today. The first is going to be November Rain on the Joe Perry, and then I'll be playing a Led Zeppelin inspired tune on this bad boy. So let's go there now. So guitarists, it's the end of another Squealing Pig Guitars video. I really hope you've enjoyed this one today. If you have, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and hit the hype points button down below. Also, let me know down below your favorite guitar from today's episode. Are you team page 58 or page 78? Let me know down below. And finally, before I reveal the winner of today's episode, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we could definitely do with your help, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So, who is the winner or my favorite from today's episode? I am going to give it to page 58. I'm slightly biased here as this is probably my dream guitar. I'm a massive fan of the Tobacco Sunburst, and this guitar was just so resonant and woody sounding. I really like the other guitar as well, the one that's actually just sitting behind me, which is the Page 78. This one feels very different to the Slash one. It's got a bit more lacquer on the back of the neck. It feels a little bit more traditional, the Les Paul, but because you have no pickup covers on it, it's a little bit brighter, a little bit snappier, and a little bit more overdriven. This one is a shredder for sure, so if you're after a shredder Les Paul, you have to go for this one. And these really are a killer example of what Gibson Custom Shop are creating at the moment. They're making some of the best guitars they ever have, and I really think we're going through a golden era of Gibson right now. Some of these guitars, including that one that I played earlier this week, that Ocean Magenta, they're just such stunning guitars, and they're really encapsulating that vintage vibe. I have actually played a few real bursts from 1958 and 1960, and these guitars are really encapsulating the vibe of them real vintage guitars. But that is it for today, guys. As always, let me know what you think down below. What do you think of this Beauty of the Burst series? Which one did you prefer from today's episode? Let me know down below. But that is the end of this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you shortly for another one. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.